What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Work Knife Balance. We got a fun video for you today, but before we get started with that, I want to go ahead and say thank you to anybody who's already liked and subscribed to our channel. If you haven't, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below or the little logo in the corner, and that'll subscribe you to our channel. We're going to continue to make content, so we'd love for you to see it. We've also recently had an Instagram channel open up, so please head over to Instagram and follow us there at Work Knife Balance 939. We're really new to Instagram. There's about 8 to 10 pictures on there right now. We've only been doing it for about 2 weeks, but head over there, follow us. It's a great way to see when we release a video. We'll add a little story with our link so you can see all that good stuff as well. And then we're going to be taking pictures of our knives to show you what we got. But more than anything, it's a way for you to communicate with us. Let us know what you want to see, what you don't want to see. If you've got a knife you want us to review, we can communicate, figure out how to get that over here. And then when we send it back to you after the review, we'll go ahead and send you one of these sweet stickers we had made here. So head over to Instagram, follow us, like us, subscribe here, comment, do all the good stuff. Yeah, okay, anyways, that's out of the way. We're going to dive into this Miguron knife today. This is the Miguron Mayoral. And I have really come to like this knife quite a bit, but this is not for everyone. And we'll get into a little bit why here. After we go through the specs, but this is the Miguron Mayoral. Feel free to check out our Miguron Madness video that we have. It's a full lineup of about 3 Migurons and an AM8, which is the same company, just a more premium version of them. We've got a video unboxing 4 of those knives, 3 Miguron and the 1 AM8. That's going to be on the channel there, so that'll be linked in one of these corners up here at about 1:30 if you want to go ahead and check that out. So let's go ahead and get some measurements while we got this out on the table here. We're looking at about 7.6 on the overall tip to tail here. For the blade, we're looking at about 3 1/4 inch with a cutting edge of about 2.8 inches right there. So a fantastic knife, not necessarily full size, like it's not a big boy. I'd say a full size knife, but definitely not a big overbuilt knife. And not compact. Do a comparison to the Ontario Rat 1, and we'll do another comparison to the Ontario Rat 2 down below here. So much, it's larger than that Rat 2, smaller than that Rat 1 like we talked about. We'll go ahead and do a Spyderco pair of 3, and I think this is going to be one of our closest comparisons right here, that Spyderco pair of 3. And it looks like it, actually. And then we've got the Paramilitary 2 up top there. So you've got about the closest comparison to that pair of 3, in my opinion. It's a little bit smaller than the pair of 2, but with that pair of 3, you do have a much closer size comparison. And then even if we put them up butt to butt here to see kind of like a carry capacity, you can see the Miguron is going to be much wider in pocket. It is overbuilt some, but because that Spyderco clip comes out, I mean, their clips are about even in height there. So thinner in how it carries in your pocket as well. It's not going to be quite as tall as that Spyderco there, not as wide, not girthy, but it is definitely going to be a close comparison to that one right there. So yeah, Miguron has this in a couple different variations. I picked up this green G10, which I really like. It does come with a titanium milled pocket clip, which is pretty cool. It's kind of a deep carry, not really a deep carry. You come up to about here just because where the holes are for it. But the nice thing about it is they did make it ambidextrous. So for lefties, you can definitely switch it over. Or if you're just going to carry it in your left pocket, switch it over. That's something that makes it a lot easier as well. You only have the one deployment method, which is the reason I say this knife isn't for everyone. If you can't get in there with a thumb, or you don't know how to do that reverse Spidey flick, this knife isn't necessarily for you. It is a fantastic knife to learn how to do all that on, because it's only about 50 bucks. I want to say they are $47. And it's got fantastic action. Detent brakes, not late, kind of average right there. And then it just whips out with the way that it's on those cage ball bearings. You do have 14 C28 steel on this right here. So it's got what I would consider the highest mid-range steel, or depending upon how you look at it, the lowest premium steel. I wouldn't necessarily call 14C28 premium. I would put this like 14C28, and then one step up is 154 CM in my opinion. And so that's where I would say this kind of breaks as the best budget steel that you can get out there. And so it's fantastic. You do have that bead blasted finish to the blade there, and a really, 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 really nice grind coming through as we finish that out. It's got a nice drop point with a big belly on it. So that's one thing that is pretty good. Ergos are fantastic. You can hold it down here, but they give you this nice little choil up here for sharpening, but it's also a really good hand choil, so finger choil. You can choke up really easily on this guy, hold it in hand. You can do the reverse as well and get a nice hold in there too. Pinch grip on it, yeah, you can do that. That's easy. That's a knife that you can't do a pinch grip isn't a knife in my opinion. So yeah, I've had this in my pocket a couple times, and the one thing that I would say is yeah, just that deployment method. I think it is beautiful for what it is. It's a liner lock. It is much girthier because you don't have inset liners. So I mean, you can see the stainless steel liners right there. You don't have inset liners. So this is it's a hefty knife. It's thick. It's not heavy. It's not like beastly or anything, but it's a thick knife. And then if you don't know how to deploy with your thumb, or if you don't know how to use that reverse flick on there, it's just basic. There's nothing fancy about it. It's an absolutely fantastic knife, especially for the price. You've got that drop shut action. I mean, it's pretty fantastic. Comes right down there for you, but it's the action is amazing for the quality of the knife and everything that's coming through. This is what I would expect, but it's just not for everyone. I like drop points. This one doesn't do anything for me. And I don't know if it's because it's the bead blasted and it is just a very bland knife. It is a fantastic knife, but in my opinion, there's nothing about it. The G10 is just a basic G10. You've got some texturing to it. The milled titanium clip is a nice touch. I really love the blade profile, but I don't like the bead blast on it. It's just, the whole knife to me is muted. It's just a muted knife. There are some of Miguron's knives that I absolutely love, and here. This is the AM8 knife we did in the unboxing, and this is right here next to me, the Kovig. I absolutely love this thing. It's a much more expensive knife. This one comes in at about $180. So this one's a much more expensive knife. Titanium frame, M390 steel, front flipper on it, which is really nice. You've also got that reverse flick in there, and you can do a thumb on it. So you can do so much more with this one. But this, to me, recommendable? Yeah. Fancy? No. Is it my first choice? Nah, not really. But it's a fantastic beater knife. Good steel, good handle, holds grip, nice. Ergos. If I were to rate this like a 10 out of 10, and that's not something we really do on this channel, I would say you got like an 8 and maybe a 7.5 to 8. And the only reason you're really losing points is there's nothing about this knife to me that stands out. The action is fantastic, but so are a lot of other knives that he makes with fantastic action. The ergos are good, so are a lot of other knives that he makes. Fantastic ergo. Price point, right there on you. So there was really nothing about this one that stands out. It's a good knife. I really like it. There's a lot of people out there who are really hyped on this one. I just, for some reason, it's going to sit in my collection for a while, but I just can't, I don't see the major hype on this one right here. So it's definitely a good knife. I don't have anything negative to say about it. I'm just not as excited about this one. When I hold it, when I see it, nothing about this one really just gets me going. So yeah, until next time though, TTFN, check out the Miguron Mayoral. We will go ahead and try and put as many links down below as we can. And as always, if you use any of those links, they do support most of them support our channel. Not all of them do, but most of them support our channel, and we absolutely love the support. So please and thank you if you can use those links to purchase any of the knives that you see on this channel. But if you're not going to, that's not going to hurt our feelings anyways either. So until next time, TTFN.